Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, and welcome to your very first vlog of Skippers and their boats. Yes, this is a series that Jeff and I have been rattling our heads together to bring you something new to one man and his boat, and we're going to start off with this grand old lady, the Spitfire. So guys, you've seen him before on the channel. I would like to introduce you all, for those that have not been on the channel before, young Rowan Davies here, who is the skipper of the Spitfire. Hello Rowan, and thank you very much for joining us on One Man and His Boat.
No worries, Baz. Yeah.
Are you excited to be here?
Loving it, loving life.
This is going to be the very first one. You're the case to start the whole lot. So tell me a little bit of history of the Spitfire, if you don't mind.
So Spitfire was built here in Dunbar in May 1974. She was launched down the slip at Dunbar here, just round the corner, and she started off as a single rig trawler at the prawns. Grandad also went to the scallops with her as well.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And as times went by, my granddad upgraded the engine in the boat. She was launched with a Ford.
Yeah.
And didn't have the towing power originally, so he upgraded to the Caterpillar.
Yeah.
And she went eventually to the twin rig prawn trawling.
Just for everybody at home, could you explain a little bit what twin rig means?
So single rig trawling is obviously towing one net. Twin rig trawling is a system that uses two smaller nets that is designed to catch less fish and more prawns.
Perfect, absolutely.
So, and she's been at that ever since. Sometimes we switch to the squid at certain times of the year, but very often, more often than none, we're at the prawns.
Yeah, that's all year round then?
All year round.
Apart from obviously
in the squid in September.
So obviously, Rowan, your family has got a great history here in Dunbar, and your grandfather is a prawning legend. Yep. When did you first start going to sea? So
I first started coming down to help when I was at primary school. Actually, I think I was about 9 or 10. I started coming down to help them clear the bulk when they came in and help land, and I got a wee bit of pocket money from doing that. So that kind of enticed me a wee bit to give actually going out a shot. So I think I was about 13. 14 when I first ever actually went out on the boat. I went and got all my tickets. They ran a course at the school, the grammar school. no1 organised it all, and a select few of us got to go and do our sea survival and all that. So yeah, I got all that, and I went out on the boat for the first ever time on night shift, and yeah, I was pretty ill. I was pretty ill, but I absolutely enjoyed it, and that's what enticed me really to go to the fishing. Originally, I wasn't meant to go to the sea. I was meant to be going to the Navy. That's what I wanted to do. I was in the Sea Cadets for 9-10 years, and I had my eyes set on the Navy. And my granddad said to me, come out on the boat and you could be earning money whilst doing your training. So I says, you know what, stuff it, yeah, I'll do that. So went out for the first ever time, and got handed a big wage packet and decided I wasn't leaving. So here I am to this day.
So what's it like being the third generation on this boat itself?
It's an absolute honour, I mean, the boat has got a big name here in Dunbar. There's plaques all around Dunbar naming the vessel. and its history. Obviously, as I say, my granddad's well known for his fishing history. So yeah, it is a great honour to be third generation, family generation on this boat.
So Rowan, can you tell the viewers at home what a typical day is like on the Spitfire?
So a typical day is coming down early in the morning.
How early?
You're talking 4, half 4 in the morning. Get the boat fired up, all electronics on, and if we need fuel, get fueled up. Let everything come to temperature, and decide where you're going to go fishing for your day.
Is that the hardest part of your morning? Actually deciding what to do?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Do you ever check backlogs to find out where you were fishing this time last year?
Yeah. I've made a log for the last 5 years now, actually. Just writing it up every landing that we do, and you check back, see where you were fishing last year. Sometimes it's about the same, sometimes it's not. It just depends on weather and tides and stuff like that. And then pretty much just loosen the ropes and just go for it. And fishing's a total gamble, total gamble. Sometimes the gamble pays off, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, that's where you learn from your mistakes, and you try another area again the following day, and see if it pays off then. But yeah, loosen the ropes, go to your fishing ground, and chuck the nets over the side and hope for the best.
Hope for the best. How long do you do your first tow for?
So we tow usually for about 2.5 hours at a time. My granddad always had a rule that he would never tow for any longer than 2 hours.
Why is that? Do you know?
Because, well, he says if you tow for 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours at a time, he says you might not know what's in the net. If there's nothing in the net after the first 2 hours, or after daylights came in, then you shift grounds. You, instead of towing for 5 hours, wasting all that fuel and time, and there might not be anything in the net, and then you're too late to try somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
wise man.
So yeah, so I usually tend to tow for about 2.5, 3 hours at tops. Like.
Also, it keeps the quality of the product better when you're having shorter tows, doesn't it?
Yes, most definitely, most definitely. They're still kicking, they're still alive when they come out of the water, and they're not getting hurt, because it's, I mean, imagine being chucked in a washing machine, getting tossed about in a washing machine. It's the exact same thing with the prawns. If they're in the net and getting dragged along the bottom for 4 hours, they're not going to be in the best of quality, to be brutally honest. So, and
you want the best quality for your customers, don't you?
Most definitely. You want the best of quality for the buyer, and the customers at the end of the day, in France, Italy and Spain, or wherever they go, want the product to be the best that they possibly can be. So, and
that's what you get in Scottish waters, the best.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
So, where do you normally tow from? Whereabout in the sort of region? Is it just off the Dunbar, or is you way up the Firth?
Majority of the time it's seasonal. So, summertime usually we're in the Firth of Forth, so we're away up, not quite as far as the Forth Road Bridge, but we're away up off a Methil, and at the back of Port Seaton. And then in the winter time we're mostly east, so we work east from Dunbar, so down near Torness Power Station, down towards St Abbs, and where you seen when we were out the other day, we were away out the Pathfinder, which is about 30 miles actually off Dunbar. So that's about the furthest I've actually been out, to be brutally honest, with this boat so far. Like, so
it's about the furthest you want to go with a boat this size. Especially in the winter time.
Yeah, most definitely, because when you're that far out, the wind and the weather can turn very quickly, and you've got no shelter, you've got nowhere to run. So yeah, you only kind of pick the areas to fish when you've got kind of calm weather. What's it like being in charge of two deck hands? It's a lot of responsibility, definitely a lot of responsibility. I've got to make sure that they get a pay at the end of the week, but I've also got to make sure that they're safe, and that's the main priority, is the crew's safety at the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Also, much respect for you, mate. Honestly, I couldn't do this, especially with two nights. It was hard enough with one with the rock copper, never mind two. Sorry. So the rest of the day, what does that entail?
So we take our first tow, pull the nets up, see what's in it. We sort the catch out into different sizes on the picking table, get everything sorted, washed. We wash the catch and then box it, and then, as I say, pull up the second tow, see what's in it, exact same process, pick it all, wash it, box it, and then the third haul we pull up, and as soon as we pulled up the third haul, we're heading straight into harbour usually. And then the process after that is exactly the same, wash it, box it, and then we have to land it actually onto the quayside after that. So, and then it's landed straight into the van and taken away to the processors. So
you mentioned you've been up since 4 a.m. What time do you actually get finished, and what time do you get back to your beds?
So usually if it's a big haul, on the last haul, we could be 8-9 o'clock at night if we're on day shift. That's just leaving the boat, and then the time that you get home, do your washing, get something to eat, and then get to your bed, and then you're back up at 4 again in the morning. So yeah, you're not getting much sleep.
No, absolutely not. And how many days a week do you actually work?
So we sometimes work 6, but majority of the time we work 5 days a week. Sunday to the Friday.
Yeah, perfect, mate, perfect. So guys, with every prawn boat there's always got to be a great crew, and I would like to introduce the crew to the Spitfire. We have young Martin here and young Dale. Martin's been here the longest, young Dale's only been here how many?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? 2 weeks, and what's it been like these 2 weeks?
It's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed myself. I was away for the fishing for about 3 years, and you didn't realise how much you miss it until you're away for it.
Oh, you've got the bug.
I've came back, and that'll be me. I'm back.
Are you back for good?
Back for good. I love
Excellent.
it. I love it.
Excellent. Do you enjoy working on the Spitfire itself?
I love it. He's a great skipper, great crewman as well. Great boat to run. It's amazing. Catching good prawns as well, so you can't complain.
As long as the wages are good.
Exactly.
Martin, you've been here the longest. What's it been like working on the Spitfire?
Oh, it's been great. It's been ups and downs, but it's predominantly been fantastic. Certainly life changing compared to my old career.
Oh, what was your old career?
I used to be a greenkeeper.
A greenkeeper? A bit different.
It's a
greenkeeping to fishing.
Big difference. And I've enjoyed it. It's something that I've actually wanted to do, and I just enjoy it. No 2 days are the same. Great office views. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Right guys, I'm going to ask you a personal question. Can you see you working the rest of your life at this job?
Yeah. Aye.
I like to hope so.
I hope so.
I can.
So this is another shout out to the MCA. These men have still got, what, 20-30 years until you retire?
Aye.
20-30 years. They have to have an industry to actually work that, and you've got to do your best to make sure that these guys have still got a job. So obviously, Rowan, fishing is a very hard game indeed. What is the hardest part about your day?
I would say the hardest part about my day is choosing the right fishing area. It's very stressful, as I say, to get the crew a wage at the end of the week. That's the main priority in your head, is to get the crew a decent pay, because without a good crew you're useless. So deciding the fishing area, working out tides, that's another one, working out tides, where to be at a certain point of the day for slack water. Now slack water is when the tide changes from high to low, so you get a lull in the water where everything goes still, and that's when the prawns usually come out to feed. That's the best part. Especially for big tides. So you want to be in a certain area at a certain time of the day, and to work that out is it's quite difficult. So especially being the first year as skipper, as I say, I'm still learning. Everybody's still learning at this job. Nobody knows everything. So anybody that says that they know everything about this job's complete and utter liars.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as I say, still learning, and it's, as I say, it comes down to experience.
Yeah.
As I say, so I'm still learning, and enjoying it. I am.
You talk about learning a lot. Are you finding you're getting quite a lot of support for the local men about what to do and how to do it as you're learning, obviously with being a first year skipper?
Most definitely. A lot of support from home as well. Obviously my granddad, being a well-known fisherman, he's one of the most experienced that there is round about the area, so getting a lot of knowledge from him as well. I'm constantly on the phone to him, asking where to be, what to do, this, that and next thing. And also other skippers as well. I mean, I'm very, very close friends with a skipper in Pitt and Weem. I worked with him while this boat was getting a new gearbox last year. Worked with him for about 6 months. So he's always constantly helping me out. And yeah, I mean, that's what this job is about, is helping others out in time in need, really.
Yeah.
And making sure everybody's safe as well is another big stressful point.
Talking about safety and stressful points,
Yep.
Can you tell us your opinion on the MCA? My key word.
Some
Remember, it's a family show,
Yes.
so keep the swearing to a minimum.
some of the stuff that they're coming out with now is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they need to start cutting fishermen some slack, because they're trying to, in my eyes, they're trying to get rid of the fishing industry.
Yeah.
That's what they're wanting. I mean, they can't keep coming up with these rules and regulations and all the rest of it. Fishermen are following by the rules that they're given, but some of the rules that are coming out now is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, to stop a young lad that was helping his father out when he came in after a fishing trip to help land, and to nab him for not having tickets with being just on the boat in the harbour is absolutely shocking, absolutely out of order. I mean, how do you expect a new breed of fishermen to come into the industry without learning the industry to start with?
And like you said, you learnt from a young age.
I learnt from when I was nine.
I was 7. Right? So this is what we're trying to say. We learnt from when we were nippers how to fish, and it's no changed. We still want to pass down to the next generation, and it will start at 7 and 9. So the MCA better get that, basically wake up to what we're trying to tell you, because we can't take this anymore. We really can't. I mean, our industry is on its hands and knees, and we're needing to put a future for an island nation. I mean, we're a key food product, and you're absolutely crucifying us. So you really need to talk to the fishermen, learn from them, because they know best. They're out there 24/7. You're sitting there behind a desk telling us how to do our job. Typical government. See, I'm starting to rant. Okay, we're going to go on to our next question now, Rowan. So obviously after a hard week, Rowan, what is the best part about your week?
Best part of the week, I would say, is coming home on a Friday, knowing, especially if it's been a really good week, coming home with a boat full, you know that your wages are in the hold, and you've done the best job that you could possibly do as a skipper and earned your crew a decent pay. You're heading home, landing, everybody's in good spirits, looking forward to a nice weekend off. Get the boat washed down, you walk away from the boat on a Friday, and that's you, and there's no better feeling like it.
So Ron, obviously you were nominated in 2022 for Young Fisherman of the Year. What was that like for you?
That was unbelievable. I've still been asking to this day who actually nominated me, but they still won't tell me. But yeah, no, that was absolute. It was an honour, absolute honour. I got the phone call. I thought it was a practical joke to start with.
I'm not surprised. I would be as well.
I got the phone call. Still remember it. One day, sitting eating my tea, and the Fishing News phoned me and said, "You've been nominated for Young Fisherman of the Year. How do you feel?" And I took the phone away from my ear and I looked at it and I was like, no way, no way. Put the phone back to my ear and I says, "Is this a joke? Like, this is stop. Whoever's phoning me, stop playing jokes, eh?" And they were like, "No, it's not a joke. It's serious." And got a phone call, I think 2 weeks after that, saying that I'd been made into the final category, and I got invited. Me and the family got invited to a fancy 4-course meal and a fancy swanky do in Aberdeen.
Fishermen are no used to swanky, are they?
No. Majority of the time it's usually smelling of prawns and fish, but yeah, got to put a fancy suit on and go to a nice meal, beautiful reception, champagne and stuff, and then, as I say, came up to the category. We were all sitting round the table, all nervous, and I'm sitting shaking at the table, and my name got mentioned, my name got read out, and I tell you what, words couldn't describe how I was feeling at that point. Went and collected my trophy. Got a few pictures with Des, who actually starred on Still Game.
All right.
Got a few photos with him. He handed me the trophy. Got back to the table, and I was in shock. I couldn't speak for about an hour and a half after it.
Really?
Everybody was coming up to me, congratulating me, trying to speak to me and stuff, and I was just in a trance. It wasn't a messy night because it was very expensive. But yeah, it was an absolute honour, and I can't thank whoever nominated me. To this day, still don't know, but whoever nominated me is an absolute honour, and I like to thank them.
No. Brilliant, mate, brilliant. Well, congratulations, mate, because I was totally stunned when I got told that you were actually going to be put up for the award, and I thought, wow, that's brilliant, especially for Dunbar, because that's what we want to see with the fishing industry. We want to see younger men coming into the game. That's why I'll always support this boat and this skipper, because he's the youngest prawn fisher in Dunbar, and we need people like this. We need people to go to sea.
The thing is, as well, is it was out the whole of Britain. So to get nominated out of the whole of Britain for Young Fisherman of the Year, as I say, words can't describe it.
Yeah, brilliant, mate, brilliant. So, Rowan, thank you very much for being here on our very first Skippers in Their Boats series, and we're actually celebrating the Spitfire's 50th this year, so yeah, you must be quite excited about that.
Absolutely, as I say, honoured more than anything to be third generation skipper in the boat, 50 years old now. Yeah, absolutely overwhelmed, and to be brutally honest, I'll probably be the last, if not second last skipper to be aboard this boat, so yeah, definitely very honoured.
Yeah, excellent. So guys, if you like this vlog, please give it a thumbs up, please write a comment below if you have any questions, and please subscribe to the channel, because that's always very helpful indeed. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Until your next vlog, my friends, all the very best.